everyone, welcome to Simplifying the Complex. My name is Christina, and today I'm joined by Kathy Stevenson, the Executive Vice President of Yellow Brick Consulting. Kathy's expertise and background have been key in the development of our dress rehearsal simulation program. Dress rehearsal is one of our team's favorite activities, as it really is the culmination of all our years of planning for the project. Kathy, for those unfamiliar with what dress rehearsal is, can you provide a brief overview?
Sure. Dress rehearsal is a scripted simulation event that we do in the new space with staff. And it's really to help staff make sure that they're ready to work in the space, as well as that the space is ready for them to take care of patients or to do their job. We focus on what's new and different, such as paths of travel, new equipment, and new workflow.
Workflow is one of the key inputs that is used to develop the scenarios for dress rehearsal. Why is it important that our clients get that done ahead of time so that dress rehearsal is successful?
We really want to use those events for staff to test out that workflow and make sure that there doesn't need to be any adjustments prior to day one. And often we find that that workflow or department-specific workflow is really in a manager's head or in the team that helped design the building's head. And we really want to get that documented so that we can develop that orientation and training plan and let everybody know how they're going to work in that new space. And dress rehearsal really brings to light all of the things and the excitement that they have in the new space, as well as how they're actually going to do their job.
We often compare planning a dress rehearsal event to planning a huge event like a wedding or a party. So there's a lot of behind the scenes work that goes on ahead of time to ensure the event is successful. What are some of the things that are leading up to the event that clients need to consider when building their dress rehearsal plan? And when do we really start planning for it on the transition activation lifecycle?
Sure, so early on, we do like to make the assumptions about picking the dates for when the dress rehearsal are going to be, and to really help the teams who are getting the space ready understand how we want the space ready, that it looks like the department that staff are going to work in, and so that they can plan accordingly. So we'll do that a couple years out from when the day one activation is. And then starting about a year out, we'll start to develop those scenarios for the scripted simulations, start to work on the logistics of the day, whether that's locations for people to check in, what types of things are going to be ready in the space and not ready. And then we'll really start to plan those details, identifying the participants and such in that year leading up to the time.
I know one of the top comments that we received from our dress rehearsal evaluations is that participants are so happy that this was not day one. Often that's because there's so many issues identified, and that's not uncommon. Often we see hundreds of issues, and that's a lot of work for organizations to really sort through and prioritize. How do you recommend organizations go about that process?
Well, we like to simplify it as much as possible because there are so many issues that are identified. And so we really categorize those into 3 different priorities. That first priority are those that are either life safety or regulatory required to be changed and really need to be done right away. Priority 2 items would be those that need to be done before day one activation, and otherwise it would affect staff's efficiencies or operations in the department. And then that priority 3 are those items that are either nice to have done by day one or maybe need to be reevaluated after day one. We find often when teams go back to those staff that were working in the spaces and identify those priority 3 issues, that they don't even think it's an issue any longer and they don't even know why it was documented. So we really do try to simplify it though so that we can make sure that those issues are remedied before day one.
Well, thank you, Kathy, so much for joining us. Our book, A Guide to Healthcare Facility Dress Rehearsal Simulation Planning, is available on Amazon.com and Emerald Publishing for those who are interested in learning more. Until next time, thank you.